Fresh Baked, get ready for our State of Disneyland report today. Crowds, queues, and news all coming up next on Fresh Baked. And opening this up with the sound of the train, a little bit of Ayuga from the omnibus, and surprising, subdued entry into the park today. It's about 2 o'clock on a Thursday afternoon, and it's really quite mellow here right now. I am so surprised by how not crowded it feels. Now, I say that a lot, things change, and it doesn't really mean anything, but it feels more chill for a Thursday at 2 than I might have been expecting. There's Chippendale in their platinum best. And as we make our way into the park, let me update you guys on what we're doing today. It's the State of Disneyland report. We do one of these every month, preferably around the beginning of the month, it being February 8th as I record this. I can't remember. I don't know what day it is. It's early part of February, and as is our custom, we're going to make our way through the entire park. We're going to walk through every land. We're going to check in on every attraction and update you on, whatever news happens to be going on for that particular attraction. We'll probably be sprinkling in some of the stories that came out from the earnings call yesterday. And then we'll also check in on the wait times and the crowds and just get you a general feel of how the parks are on this lovely February afternoon, which, by the way, is a little warmer than typical because of Santa Ana winds that have been blowing through here the last couple days. So it might be a little windy on the mic, and it is definitely a little warmer than I would like right now. We'll begin with a discussion on park availability, park accessibility, looking at the reservation system. We'll start with Magic Keys. February, actually, for this time of year, it looks, I wasn't expecting to see as many sold out dates as we are. The typical weekends, but they've also sprinkled in a couple of weekdays. So Disney is continuing their strategy, which Iger referenced in the earnings call. He did specifically reference that they are trying to coax people into the park on certain days, pass holders to the week or weekdays and non-peak, so that they can allow in more, the once-a-year visitor during the heavier times. But this is February. I don't know if that's necessarily what their plan is to massage it that closely. But anyway, February is a little bit more booked up than I would have expected. March is pretty much wide open. And then for single-day tickets, it is fairly wide open. So again, that speaks to their plans. The only day that's sold out is tomorrow, but you can buy a ticket. You could walk in right now. You could walk in and just go to Disneyland right now. And I think there's, next Friday, a Disneyland Start is sold out, but that's not as bad as it was in the past, because last week they started the 11 a.m. park hop. So you could buy that DCA Start and then jump over to Disneyland at 11 a.m. So that's kind of surprising a little bit that it's this busy, or I should say this inaccessible for Magic Keys in February, but it's still not so bad. You can probably get any date you want if you just apply a little bit of diligence. Those dates tend to flip on a regular basis. So that's the accessibility. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned, March is pretty wide open. So again, it's the short-term dates that are getting the most booked up, and then the long-term dates are pretty wide open. Let's begin. Let's go to Adventureland. Wow. Okay, there's some folks either going to see the Tiki Room or to get a Dole Whip. We're all probably waiting to see how things look when we turn the corner here. They've opened up, if you watched our construction video from the other day, they've opened up. Hey, hi. They've taken the walls down, and it's quite roomy in here now. Wow. Oh, okay. I saw that queue and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's happening with Jungle Cruise? It's a 20-minute wait. They're not loading any of the upstairs levels, which is pretty rare. They hardly ever don't load upstairs, so this won't last for much longer. They'll start pushing people upstairs, but 20-minute wait for Jungle Cruise, not bad at all. 0-minute wait for Indiana Jones Adventure. But there's the new rock work there, and we're actually walking on new pavement here. It is definitely more roomy than it was before. You can feel it, it's noticeable. As I understand it, Indy is on track for something around April, I believe. That is the current, they're ahead of schedule. It's not gonna be the end of spring, it's probably gonna be more like the early spring, beginning of spring, when Indy reopens. Let us continue into New Orleans Square. Check in on Pirates of the Caribbean, which already I can bet is about 30 minutes. That would be my guess. Or closed. 30 minutes or closed. It is closed currently. At least that's the way it looks. They've got cast out there in the front, but there are guests in the queue. But the sign is down. So Pirates is closed. We can't really check in on that. So we'll continue on. Maybe on our way through Frontierland, we'll stop over here to see it's open again. But right here, well, I think this might be a factor of Pirates being closed right now, but this is very light right here. This is quite light. Let's go back to Royal Street.
They could be like that.
Golly, look at. Hey, how are you? Positively roomy. Not the least bit of congestion. Again, Pirates is closed, so there's no guests coming out of the exit. We'll come through here again as well, maybe, when we check in on Pirates. Oh look, it's my favorite thing, or one of them. I haven't seen or heard these guys in a while. Delightful. I do love the bootstrappers. They were playing on the weekends for a while there, but I think they're back to their weekdays only now. That is a healthy wait there for the Disneyland Railroad. Certainly more healthy than the Tiki Room. The Jungle Cruise was. My gosh, that is a popular sight today. Sorry, we're just going to Disneyland right now. I'm doing no reporting. This is lovely. Again, quite roomy, but again, Haunted Mansion is still closed. It will be until tomorrow. They don't look exactly ready though, but it's supposed to open tomorrow. I'm really enjoying this. I have nothing to talk about. I can just walk around and shoot. Hey, Splash Mountain is open, and it's a warm day. I'll bet you we're looking at an hour for Splash. Oh, it says 45. Posted wait time says 45 right over there. Pulled over to check my phone for a second, and it dropped down to 15. That was shocking. And then I guess a bunch of people got in the queue, and it's up to 25 again. You never can tell, you guys. I can walk around this park all day and see a variety of scenarios, but I will say so far, decidedly not busy. That much we can say. Well, I haven't seen a single situation yet that has suggested that it is at all crowded. Oh my. Now, having said that, I like to say that. Having said that, I was here 2 days ago, and it was crowded as heck. Very busy. So don't take this to mean the fact that it's not busy today, that's the way it's going to be if you just roll up here on any given day in February. That's so delightful, though.
Look, I have to take a picture with
There's your cue. It's growing. It's growing. That is at least 25 minutes. Winnie the Pooh, that was a virtual walk-up. Still no stay of execution for you fans who are hoping that they, I don't know, change their mind on the Splash Mountain thing. And I say that because for a very long time, I was of the mind that they were still 50-50, that they maybe hadn't settled their mind and it wasn't a done deal and that watch it never happened. But every day that goes by, we get closer to Splash Mountain becoming Tiana's Bayou Adventure. However, it's going to be a little while still. We are way behind, or are going to be way behind the schedule being set presently by Walt Disney World. They've already closed their attraction. We don't even have a date. And it's still up in the air. I believe pending Indiana Jones, but even then, that's just a guess. I'm just guessing on that. It could be, May, June, who knows? Here's a wild, off-the-wall thought while we're here in Critter Country that probably has 0% chance of being a reasonable thing, but you heard the news that there's some kind of Avatar experience coming to Disneyland. What that is yet, I don't know. We also know at the same time that Tiana's Bayou Adventure is moving into Splash Mountain, thus co-opting some of this land into New Orleans Square. So we'll have just a little sliver of Critter Country left. Hi guys. So what if they just said, you know what, let's just go ahead and finish the job. What if we just decide, we don't need any Critter Country anymore? Don't nobody care about Winnie the Pooh? What if they just cut out a little slice or took the rest of Critter Country and made it a small slice of Avatar, of Pandora? And we're talking actual, mini land. We're talking a land and maybe even a Navi River journey. Although, hi guys, hi. How are you? Although the Winnie the Pooh show building is tiny, and it wouldn't be near enough to you couldn't put Navi River Expedition Boogaloo Shrimp in that footprint. Just food for thought. We're gonna we'll throw out a couple more ideas as we make our way around the park. I mentioned a couple in the news update the other day, so we'll talk about those as we approach them. For now, let's go to Galaxy's Edge. And enjoy the peaceful tranquility of that Mark Twain drifting around the rivers of America. Very chill here also on the Hungry Bear Trail en route to Galaxy's Edge. That was very quiet and not a lot of guests. This is my favorite part of the journey. By the way, it makes me recall, I had a thought, and I haven't had a chance to test it very much, at all really. I kind of did a drive-by the other day, but with Runaway Railway up and also being virtual queue, it's very likely that it is going to siphon off some of the business of Rise of the Resistance. You'll see people, because they're not going to buy both, typically. They're going to buy one or the other. So instead of buying Rise, if they're going to buy one, instead of buying Rise, they're going to buy Runaway Railway. Although, it's been reported or suggested to me that sales are not going very well for individual Lightning Lane for Runaway Railway. And it doesn't look like things are going very well here at Rise of the Resistance. Is it even open? There are guests going in. Boy, did Runaway really siphon off that much business? You could, is that a walk-on? Well, I'll walk into the caves anyway. I can see, no, I see them walking briskly through that back section back there. No stopping there. Nothing can stop them now. I don't know how. What is the standby? 45 minutes. Nobody in the Lightning Lane queue. And I'm gonna see if I can't sneak a peek back there, way in the back, through the lens and see if there's anybody backed up there. I can't. As soon as I turned the camera off, I could see with the naked eye. You can't see it through the lens, but I can see it through the naked eye. Guests are walking straight into the interior portion. There's no waiting out here in the caves at all. It's standby, no waiting until you get into the caves. I don't even think it's 45 minutes. If I didn't have my little 3-year-old cohort with me right now, I'd go jump in there and test this thing out. But she's too short to ride Rise of the Resistance. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Now you got me singing that song from that ride. Oh my gosh, you know what's happening right now? We are en route to Ronto Roasters. Should I get Tatooine Sunset? I feel like it's imperative that I do that whenever we do one of these reports. I feel like it's necessary. We do have to check the Genie Plus Lightning Lane board to see how things are going, the standby wait board, the tip board, as it were. So we'll grab one of those, pull over, and check that out. But let's first meander our way through the Galaxy's Edge Marketplace. Are there any songs that I can hum that are Star Wars related? Nothing quite as catchy as Nothing Can Stop Us Now. Oh, that's not even actually the name of the song, is it? When's the last time we saw a new critter in this shop? Anyone? I have not seen a new critter in here in quite some time. No new displays. No new anything. Matter of fact, they're still trying to sell Life Day orbs over here. That was, what, 6 months ago? We're 6 months away? Nobody's buying any robes today either. Or critters. No new critters at that shop either. Well, not critters. Plushes anyway. They do have a new treat here, a Jacuan corn, chili, and cheese pie. Roasted poblano pepper, corn, mozzarella, citrus dipping sauce. That actually sounds kind of good, but we're not in a snack mode right now. No wait for a Tatooine sunset either. What, did they forget to did they forget to tell everybody that they're open today? It never gets old, it never gets bad, man. That is good every single time. Oh, what a refreshing treat this is. All right, let's get into that tip board. Here we go. Alice in Wonderland, 35, Astro 15, Autopia, 45. I would not have guessed that with a return time of now. I would not have guessed Autopia, 45 minutes, considering how not busy it is today. Big Thunder, okay, go figure. Big Thunder's 30, return time in 20 minutes, but Autopia's 45. Not that I'm, mad at it. I love Autopia, but whatever. Buzz Lightyear's 10 minutes. Oh dear. Return time of now, Casey's a walk-on. Okay, Dumbo is 30, Finding Nemo 30, nice. Small World 10. Wow, Jungle Cruise 25, Carousel 15, Tea Party 15. Man, Sophia and I could be having ourselves a day right now. Okay, Winnie the Pooh is a walk-on. Matterhorn, 45, which is not bad considering it's been, that 45 has been the minimum for a while now. Let's see. And then Runaway Railway, we have a, look at that, the Lightning Lane return time is for now. Boy, they weren't kidding. When somebody mentioned that to me, they said, hey, Lightning Lane's not selling. Look at that. I can go right now with the Lightning Lane. Today's, what are we, not even 3 weeks into this? It won't be long before they're standby. We'll get into that. We'll get into that when we head over to Runaway Railway. Smuggler's Run, which I'm looking at right now, but I can't really see the queue, 30 minutes. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, 20. Peter Pan, 25. Pinocchio, 20. Pirates is open, and at 30, there is not Space Mountain. 40 minutes and a return time of less than an hour and a half from now. Oh, it is an hour and a half from now. Oops, sorry about that. Splash is back up to 45. Return time now. Star Tours 10. Rise. Oh my gosh, 45 minutes and a return time of now for Lightning Lane. My God. I mean, it's February, right? It's got to be. Dang, man. I know it's February, right? I know it is. It's supposed to be slow, but I just was expecting it to be busier than this, at least. It's kind of surprising. And look at this. What did we say? It was 35 for Millennium Falcon when we were looking at the tip board. I don't know if you can see it right now. Matter of fact, frame rate's gonna be 15 minutes. The standby is 15 minutes. I'm looking up at that window back there. I'll find it. I'm looking at that window back there, and I was just watching. You can usually see people standing, waiting. They're stuck. That's near the very end before you go in to see Hondo. People are just walking freely. They're walking freely to the Hondo part, the pre-show. That's cool. I guess February is the time of the year to visit the Disneyland Resort, and the weather is delightful right now. It is mid-70s. The wind has abated, so it's not, we're not getting that. We're getting the best part of it. We're getting the nice temperatures without too much wind. Man, this is nice. Oh, there's the wind. Okay, I spoke too soon. Wow. Okay, you know what we gotta do? We need to go to Fantasyland because there are some very key spots in that land where I measure, I can get a feel for what the crowds are, you know, where the pinch points are. Liz and I walked through there, I can't remember what, it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, we walked through Fantasyland. I thought I was gonna die. It was so crowded. And that's what I mean, like I know it's February and people are gonna say that, but just a week and a half ago, after the holidays, you could barely walk through Fantasyland. So I guess what I'm saying is that if it were just, you know, a seasonal thing, if it were just the fact that it's February, then it would be like this all the time. But it's not. It's often quite busy. As I mentioned, I was just here on Tuesday. Very busy that day, it felt like. This is quite nice. This is quite nice. When we walked through here that day I was telling you about with Liz and I, it was wall to wall, shoulder to shoulder. "10 days ago that was. There's Casey Jr. That is not 5 minutes. That's maybe 3 trains worth. Not quite the walk-on that the tip board said it was. Right here is another one. Often you can't even fit through here. Snow White's pulling a few guests that I was gonna say the Pinocchio queue was not long at all, but this Snow White is longer than it usually is, so they're splitting the difference. It's been a minute since Snow White has curled around the castle like this. Meanwhile, Peter Pan up to its usual tricks. That's always what it is. It's always what it is. Toads is looking good. That's about 15 minutes. Dumbo's looking pretty light too. And, weird that Casey Jr. had a longer than what I was expecting queue, but everything else is pretty light. Oh my, okay. This is the first time I've ever felt anything. We've been here for a couple hours. This is the first time I've felt anything at all that resembles intensity, but Mad Tea Party is still just a one rotation attraction right now. Fantasyland's pretty consistent. I feel like I've said that before. That Fantasyland is almost always the same. No matter how busy the rest of the park is, Fantasyland pulls the guests. Part of that is because there are no lightning lane attractions. It's all standby. So you get a pretty consistent return on terms of how long people are willing to wait or how long the queues get. There's also a definite limit to how long people are willing to wait. No matter how busy it gets, you're never going to see Snow White get too crowded. They'll just do something else. They won't get in that line. It's self-regulating to a point that a lot of other attractions aren't. I mean, most are, but Fantasyland definitely is. So, you know, even on a slow day, you're going to see Fantasyland still pull 30 minutes for a lot of attractions because people are willing to get in them. They're more likely to get in them. We've made it to Toontown, and as usual, there is quite a lot of people who are just kind of waiting out their virtual queue time. But there's a cast member here with a sign for Tale of the Lion King, hoping to direct folks in the proper direction if they choose to see this show, which is now running today. The show's starting here in a little bit. This was a sort of a wild card for me in terms of the possibility of it being a home for Avatar. It fits in the land. I would like to see Avatar here as opposed to Tomorrowland, although somebody made a fairly good point in the comments section that Avatar is, it's sci-fi, those are aliens, it's otherworldly, so that kind of does fit in with the modern Tomorrowland theme, even though Tomorrowland's supposed to be the future. Although again, I guess that world does exist in a future where there is space travel and we're going to foreign planets. So it actually does kind of fit in Tomorrowland, now that I think about it. But it also fits here in Fantasyland, and I would like to see it here. That would be kind of neat. But as I mentioned, it's open air, very much exposed to the elements, wind, rain, etc. I don't know that you could actually do something here and keep it safe. I just had a weird thought. What would a train ride on the Disneyland Railroad be like stopping here at the Toontown station? You've got the Toontown depot, all themed out for Toontown. But then you look across the way and it's all Avatar. It's all Pandora. I don't know why that bothered me just now. that made my brain hurt a little bit. I don't know if I want to see Pandora on the right, Toontown on the left. From the train, that is. Nah, that's not going to work. I feel like, we're going to Tomorrowland. We'll talk about there in a minute. There's a peek under the bridge there at Runaway Railway, the queue that they have, the extended queue for standby, well, not standby, for virtual queue. There are times when you can see guests fill in all those switchbacks down there, and then there are times like now where it's completely empty. I mentioned when we were looking at the tip board that the return time for individual Lightning is now, which it shouldn't be. Oh man, you still don't see now usually for Rise of the Resistance. The return times are, for this ride, for new attractions, it should be hours from now. They should be sold out. Shouldn't they? Or should they? Do people not like this attraction? Because I love it. I love Runaway Railway, but I'm a nerd for this kind of thing. I'm a nerd for really elaborate queues and, putting on a show, and I'm a nerd for dark rides. So maybe, I don't know, maybe this isn't for everybody. I just feel like these Lightning lanes should be sold out right now. I feel like if they're not sold out, they should be for at least a couple hours from now. But I could ride right now with a Lightning lane. It's not going to be long. If it stays like this, it's not going to be long before this is just regular standby. Well, I should say they take out the virtual queue. They'll still sell Lightning lane because they don't have another option. Web Slingers did better than this. Sorry, I just remembered that. This Web Slingers Lightning lane performed better than this. Are people not digging? That makes me sad. I don't like that. Are they not digging Runaway Railway? They're not digging Mickey's own ride? How are things going at Walt Disney World, folks? Is that typically a long wait? I know that's on. I don't think it's on individual. I think it's just regular Genie Plus. What's the standby wait at Walt Disney World, the Hollywood Studios, for Runaway Railway today? I'll stay in the line while you guys answer, and then we'll head over to Tomorrowland and make our way through. Oh, we got to stop over here at Small World real quick just to take a peek at the standby queue. Tip board said it was pretty much now. It was a walk-on. Lightning lane's definitely now. I know it's like 10 or 15 minutes, but that's about right from what I can see from here. I see about 2, maybe 3 switchbacks. And yeah, that would make it about 15 minutes, is my guess, from this distance. Board says 10. They need to get that baby on Small World Stat. Give him some happiness and joy. There you go. There you go. Take that, fresh baked. That's the Matterhorn Mountain. One of the oldest attractions in the park. You know, it was built in 1955. It's been here for 100 years. Hi, Dallin. And it's still one of the most popular attractions in the park. That's saying something. Way to be, Matterhorn. Look at that. I haven't seen a 35-minute standby at Matterhorn in quite a while. The trend continues. It's not going to end. The trend is going to stay this way all the way to the end. Matterhorn is not nearly as crowded as it typically is. It is a slow day. One of the slowest days that I've seen at Disneyland in quite some time. Watch me nuts tomorrow. Yeah, this is nothing. Man, I'd get in this line so fast right now. I would, you know what part of this is? I just realized something. And this, I mean, this may not be anything. Maybe it's something, I don't know, but it's the Sweethearts Night tonight, I believe. So a lot of folks are, you know, they got their day in already. And they're planning to leave early, I guess. They're selling fewer tickets. Fewer tickets sold, perhaps, for today because of the Sweethearts Night. People didn't want to lose out on that 8 o'clock to midnight stretch. But having said that, it was also Sweethearts Night when I was here on Tuesday. And it was decidedly more busy. Tuesday versus Thursday. Decidedly more busy than this. I am literally incapable these days of passing by the Matterhorn with the Nemo subs on my left. I'm literally incapable of passing by here and not stopping to look at it and film it a little bit. It has now become some kind of OCD situation. I'm really enjoying this shot right here, actually, with them in my left third. Look at that. Oh man, I love the Nemo Lagoon so much. All right, let's go to Tomorrowland. I'm expecting the breezy nature of our day to continue in here. It feels quite nice and chill. Nemo, though, is actually kind of got a healthy queue relative to the rest of the park. That looks to be at least 30, maybe 45 minutes. I wonder if you could fit Avatar in there. What would the Avatar, the Way of Water experience? Oh my. Do you guys remember Scott Trowbridge? Do you remember Trowbridge trolling Twitter by posting an image of him? Or no, he wasn't in it. It was just a shot of the old motorboat loading dock. You know, over there next to Small World. And he said that he was imagining something, you know, just doing a normal day. It was the most loaded non-tweet ever from a Disney Imagineer. No reason for him, hey, how are you? There's no reason for him to be tweeting that tweet unless he was trying to tease something. So what, when I was thinking Avatar in this area, I'm always still in the mindset of the first film. But we literally just had a whole movie, 3 hours worth of them playing around in the water. What if Avatar Way of Water in the Nemo Lagoon? And it could go all the way into, all of that landscaping over there where, hi guys, hey, how are you? You know, where the Autopia tracks go. Would you be able to find a way to sort of blend in Autopia with that landscaping? Oh my God, my head is exploding right now with the possibilities. If I had a wish, that would be it. You know, there's the logic part of me that says, yeah, they'll probably wind up putting it in stage 12 at DCA. It's too much to ask for an actual land. It's too much to ask for an actual ride.
Do you know where Zoe is?
But what if? Where's the ride though? Is the Nemo Lagoon? Are the subs the ride? Because there's no subs. There's no subs in Avatar. They have no submarines. They have just giant fish that you can climb on top of and swim around with. Fresh Bake, fill in the blanks. I'm not a smart man, or I should say I'm not a creative man. I mean, I got some intelligence, but I'm not a creative guy. I'm not capable of fleshing this out. But am I way off here? Here's the thing. Disney has on their hands a James Cameron produced and created franchise that has earned in excess of $4-5 billion by itself. I mean, it costs probably $3 billion to make the two films, but I digress. They've got one of the biggest franchises in the world, in history, and there's literally just the one land. They've got nothing, they've got hardly anything to represent Avatar. They need to get their stuff together and start making some Avatar experiences, and not just temporary things like they have, you know, that I referenced in the video before in Singapore. Let's go Disney. Okay, this is, by the way, this is like the low-hanging fruit of possibilities, because that building right there is empty. They had Path of the Jedi there before. It's been vacant since the parks reopened. And it's definitely starved for something to draw guests. I could see them doing something in there, and it could pull guests, and it would make sense, and the theme wouldn't even get in the way of the rest of the land because everything is indoors. 35 minutes, by the way, for Space Mountain. 35 minutes, and you can't do anything here at Launch Bay because that is in the process of becoming a DVC lounge. I don't know if they're going to be using the entire building, but I don't think you can have both a DVC lounge and an Avatar experience in the same building. I don't think that makes very much sense. Hi. Now we talk about things to update, exciting news to talk about when we're at Tomorrowland and when we're at Disneyland. Very exciting news. It's going to be everything that I can do to keep on walking as I talk about this right here at this pretzel cart and at the churro cart right behind it. Oh, that's the milk and cookies pretzel. They don't have, okay, so maybe they just, where's the line for the churro cart? This churro cart they are selling again. The sour cherry churro with cream cheese dipping sauce. In my opinion, the single greatest churro ever created. #1 in history of churros. I just walked past it because I've got to get Sophia out of here and feed her a proper dinner. She can't have churro dinner. And she'll try to eat my churro, trust me. If I break that churro out, she'll try to eat it. So we're gonna have to put that off another day. But it's here for the month of February, I would guess. Come to Tomorrowland, go to that churro cart and get yourself a sour cherry churro with the cream. Gotta get the cream cheese dipping sauce. That makes it. I mean, it's great by itself, but the cream cheese, oh my God. It was an experience. The first time I had one of those. And with that, we have Just one more quick stop as usual. Let's go to Frontierland. Wow. I wish I was shooting the whole day in this light, man. This is wonderful. What beautiful light we have right now. 45 minutes says standby. It's a little higher than I thought it was going to be. When we looked at the tip board, it said 30. I remember saying, my goodness, why is it less than Utopia? It's actually getting a little close-knit here. A little friendly. Lightning Lane queue looks a bit healthy, although that's kind of standard for Big Thunder. Do love the sound of laughter from children. That's always a delight. Oh, look, they finally have opened up the little seating area over here, it looks like. Every time I come by here, the ropes are up and you can't go in there. There you go. We played this game last time we were here. Which is the Lightning Lane queue and which is the standby queue? It's kind of shocking. This is why it's 45 minutes and not 30. You would think the longer queue is the standby queue, but that is not the case. The longer queue is this near one is Lightning Lane, and the inner one is standby. But that's why it jumped from 30 to 45, because Lightning Lane is cashing in at the moment for sure. You know, one of these days I'm going to have to get a turkey leg and try it again just for sport. It's been 5 years since I've had a turkey leg. It was unmemorable, but it hasn't been 5 years since I've been in the Mark Twain. Matter of fact, it's been 2 days. Dude. I would go on right now if I knew that Sophia would not have a tantrum when we try to get off. She loves the Mark Twain. It just runs about nonstop, up and down the stairs and back and forth from the front to the back and up and down every flight. And I just chase her through the whole thing. And then when the boat comes to dock and I tell her we got to get off, she's none too happy about it. She does love herself some classic Disney attractions, monorail, the train, Casey Jr. She's all about it. That's it today, guys. That's our show today. That's our State of Disneyland report. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. February, man, not too busy, not too bad today. Very nice, pleasant afternoon. I expect to find more days like this in the coming weeks, but it's not going to last. Spring will be here soon, April, and it's going to be pretty busy here, especially with Toontown coming open, although that does give us more space to put guests. They're going to be letting in more people. More people will be here, but they will be a little bit more spread out than they have been. So stay tuned for that. Follow us on Instagram at _FreshBaked, on Twitter at FreshBakedDisney, that's fresh with no E, and on TikTok at FreshBakedDisney. If you like our show and want to show your support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/FreshBaked, and we're getting video bombed as I speak. I love you guys. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked.